Maurizio Pochettino and Chelsea sporting directors have made one thing for sure clear. They are on different islands when it comes to the vision of what they want with this Chelsea club. Because at this moment in time, what Pochettino is saying and the remit that we're getting sold is completely different. Then we've got the fans now having their camel backs broken. Because the reality is, they're chanting for anyone and everyone. We got Jose, Roman, you, me, everybody. And finally, this is the biggest one of all. At this moment in time, we need an interim. I don't think it is debatable. I don't think it is something that we need to even dispute. I've got the solution. He's proper Chelsea, one of our greatest players of all time, and more importantly, this is the biggest one. He's a very good football coach. I'll tell you at the end of the video. You're going to stick around. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and in the comments below, are you giving Maurizio Pochettino till the end of the season? And who would be your interim? Because I think that's the key. We all can agree. I haven't met a single Chelsea fan that wouldn't sack him. But there's no point shouting, sack him, sack him, sack him, if there is no alternative for an interim basis. The ones that we want to come in and take over, they're going to wait till the summer. The De Zerbis, the Amorims, the Alonsos, the ones that we're looking at. We need an interim. Who do you want? I've heard Frank, I've heard Terry, I've heard Didier, I've heard Di Matteo. But the one I want has not been mentioned, and I'll tell you that at the end. When Chelsea's new ownership came in, there were a lot of mistakes that were done, right? It got to the point where we didn't get our first director of football operations that we wanted. And then the mistakes started piling on. Yes, Michael Edwards didn't join us, and then Bowley took over. We trusted Tuchel, sacked Tuchel, you know the story, yada, yada, yada. The issues became when Stanley and Lawrence Stewart got the role. They wanted to take the club in a different direction. And this is, for me, interesting because evidently it's a completely different direction than what Bowley initially planned. Bowley gave Tuchel full reins of control. He basically said, we're going to trust you, we're going to do what we want. These guys have come in and now they're taking us in a direction that could be positive, could be negative. We can't judge yet, it's too early. At this moment in time, it's unanimously negative. Like, there is no ways to debate about it. But it involves young players. So when you hire a manager and you have young players, what do you have to do? Well, first of all, you need to hire somebody that is willing to give youth a chance. If it was a De Zerbi, if it's an Amorim, if it's Alonso. You see, youth is getting a chance. You don't go after a Conte, a Mourinho, and a Pochettino evidently. Because Pochettino has no intention of giving youth a chance. Yesterday, his comments had gross misconduct written all over it. For those of you that don't know what gross misconduct is, Google it. It's a quick search. It'll basically tell you a reason for you to get sacked. It's the justification for somebody to get rid of you. And in this case, Pochettino should be getting rid of just purely based on those comments. He said, I had no options in the midfield to refresh it and we lost impetus. And for me, this is hilarious because I understand you've got no options in the midfield based on what you view, because I've been saying it. Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher, they're playing too many minutes. They're going to get burnt out. They're going to be exhausted. Mopo, we need to do something different. Mopo, please start using your squad. And guess what? Cesar Casadei all year has been on loan at Leicester. He's finally broken into the team in January. He's starting regular games for a team that's top of the championship. And guess what they've done? And this makes me sick. This is embarrassing. They've brought him back. He's had 17 minutes because he's been cup tied. And since then, we haven't seen him much. He's on the bench. You've got a centre midfielder you want to bring on. You're taking off Enzo Fernandez and you need another midfielder because you need a Duracell bunny. You need some more energy in there. You need somebody that's got some Powerade in him and he's going to be running around like it's the Sunday League hungover, but he's still going to give you passion, heart and thunder. Yet, you don't bring him on. And then you have the audacity to complain that you have no midfielder. For me, that's gross misconduct. Pochettino is a liar. Pochettino is a hypocrite because he took this job with the intention of giving opportunities to youth team players because he accepted the roles and responsibilities of this role. And this isn't me complaining. This isn't me being anti-Maurizio Pochettino. This is me assessing the situation that we're in. I don't think it's difficult for me to say, like, comprehend what's going on here. This man wants experienced players. Or he wants players that have already played 100 games, 150 games. He doesn't want Cesar Casadei. But the problem is, you're given Cesar Casadei. And then we get into the territory of I don't think he understands where he is. And this is why I think fans have turned on. And fans have chanted for anyone and everyone that has been resonated with Chelsea's success. Because he comes out and says something after 3 games in 6 days. This is a good point. And for me, that was the end of the end. You already know how I feel about it. But for me, when he says that, I just go, we're a mid-table side. Because what kind of standards are you setting to these kids in the dressing room? You've got Enzo Caicedo. What? That's an acceptable excuse now. You got Malo Gusto. That's an acceptable excuse. Because what's going to happen in 2 weeks' time when we've got the international break, and then Enzo and Caicedo come back a little bit late from international break, and one of them arrives on the Friday, because it always happens late on Friday, and then the game's on Saturday or Sunday, so subject to that, they might not be able to play. Is the excuse, oh, we're tired, so it's a good point? No, you can't be doing that. And this, for me, is how you lose a dressing room. I think this is how you set standards that are bad. And these comments are the type of comments which tell me the last 12 games, if we get to the final of the FA Cup, I don't want him here. I really don't want him here. Because I feel now he's building bad habits. I was in the camp until earlier, until this week. Literally, until this week. Do not sack him. It can't get as bad as it's getting. We're going to scrape our way to 6th or maybe 7th because results are going to pick up. We're going to get some results back to back. And then we're going to get 7th. We're going to get Europa League. Then sack him. Not a chance. What is happening now is turning toxic. And this is what we need to talk about. Because his comments are getting worse and worse. He is saying he doesn't realize that the fans have booed him. He didn't hear it. That's a lie. We could hear it through the TV. So if we can hear it through the TV, you can hear it at the stadium. And he said at the same time he hasn't got a relationship with the fans because what's he done? You have to win. And for me, this is the first clear indication he's given up. He's a man that knows if he's sacked, he's going to get a lot of money, so he doesn't care. And for me, that's perfectly fine. We accept that, but I hope you get sacked. I genuinely do. This is the only profession where you get sacked and you get a beautiful payout. So don't expect me to feel sorry for Mauricio Pochettino. If anything, he's going to get money that he doesn't deserve because he hasn't achieved any of the goals and expectations that have been set out for him in his contract. He hasn't. And I worded this on Twitter the other day, and I thought it was perfectly worded if I do say so myself. Mauricio Pochettino took the easiest job that any Chelsea manager ever had. And people are going to say, how is that? Because he came in where expectations were on the floor. Like, literally. We finished 11th. He could have finished 7th and implemented a style of play where we knew, I was like, oh, you know what, next year Victor Osimhen comes in, we get another centre-back, and all of a sudden, we're going for top 4. We're going to go for the league. And that right there is how low the bar was. But somehow, he's managed to derail it even more. To the point where we've got fans now singing anti-Bowley chants. And this is where I'm getting, laughed at because I don't understand what the point is of chanting anti-Bowley chant. Because it's not just Bowley making decisions, it's Ex-Barley, it's Clear Lake, it's the other investors, and more importantly, it's the sporting directors that have been given all the responsibilities. So you're yelling at Bowley and you're trying to get a lot of anger out. But then there's the other camp. The other camp is singing Jose Mourinho's. Why on earth would you go for Jose Mourinho in this situation? Be honest. What is Jose Mourinho going to do? It's a young squad. You're seeing Jose's team at Roma, since he's left, pick up 6 wins out of 7. Because they're playing expansive and attacking football. They're playing a completely different style. They're just moving like a serious organization. Jose is not the solution for this squad. I'll tell you that for free right now. Then you've got the other camp. And this is the camp where they're singing Roman Abramovich. I love what Roman Abramovich has done for this football club. I will forever be indebted. Roman Abramovich paid for Chelsea to be one of the greatest institutions in the sporting, in the sports history. What Chelsea achieved in 20 years is historical. We were one of the best clubs in England, if not the best club in terms of collecting trophies. For 20 years, that's how good Roman made us. We were absolutely phenomenal. 5 league titles, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, Club World Cup, Super Cup, multiple FA Cups, Carling Cups. We were absolutely just collecting trophies left, right, and centre. So when people say, right, oh, we're going to sing his name, name, I respect it. And when people say, oh, it was getting just as bad under Roman. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Bad times under Roman meant 5th or 6th. Bad times under Roman meant a one-off season where we finished 9th and then the year after go and win the league. A bad season under Roman and Marina was followed up by a good one, because what they did was buy experienced players. They buy experienced players, dash them in, get creme de la creme managers that achieve. You're not achieving, adios amigo. We bring in the next one. And for me, that is the clear difference between this board and that board, and it frustrates me. And the reality is, fans need to accept that it's gone now. There are things that need to happen, and for me, we need to bring in an interim. I say we need to bring in an interim, and the reason I say we need to bring in an interim is because I think things have got so bad now that we are getting to the point of it's untenable. It's toxic, it's horrible, we're losing interest in the season, and I think if you get rid of him, you can gain some element of positivity. Bring in an interim that's going to help us get to 7th, get us Europa League football, because I can't believe I'm even saying that. It is imperative. It's another way back into the Champions League next year. It's another way to potentially somehow win a trophy and attract better players. Like, it's literally that important, and it generates revenue. Getting rid of Poch might be the solution. Who? Because I do think this is the key thing. The players, the individuals that everyone's thinking of, Ruben Amorim, Alonso, De Zerbi, Slot, they're not coming. They're not coming at this time. There is no way individuals are walking out of jobs where they're doing good work. De Zerbi, in the Europa League last 16. Amorim, Europa League last 16, potentially going to win the league. Alonso, potentially going to win the league, looks likely to stay at Bayer Leverkusen. Feyenoord in, I think, Europa League, they're not going to be looking to... Like, John, do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening here? The managers we're linked with aren't going to leave mid-season. So this is where I'm going to give you my opinion. And please listen before you jump. I think the manager we should get for the next 2 to 3 months, no longer. In the summer, we go after our number 1 target, whoever it is, do that. But for now, Gianfranco Zola. I think we should go get Gianfranco Zola. And I'm going to explain it to you why. Zola worked under Sarri at Chelsea. And Chelsea were pretty successful. They played attacking-based football. And more importantly, he was a very good coach under Sarri. Number 2, he's got Premier League experience with Watford. And he's got Premier League experience with West Ham. Yes, it's outdated experience, but he knows how to be a number 1 manager. Number 3, he's proper Chelsea. I think that is imperative. The fans will get behind Zola straight away. The way they got behind Frank, the match-going fans, they'll get behind Zola. That is also important, because if you get them on side, the match-going fans, it's a better atmosphere, it's more support for players, players will develop. And number 4, players respect him, because Zola achieved a lot in the game. Like, Zola is a nice guy. He's likable. He's multilingual. I think that will help him just absorb some of the culture around the club to be a little bit nicer. Because at the moment, bruv, I'm not telling you now. These players are telling me they like Pochettino. He's most probably well-liked and well-respected. I'm telling you now, they're chatting nonsense behind his back because they're not seeing any progress. And this is where I think we need somebody to come in, be brave, change some things. And the way Daniele De Rossi has come in at Roma, the way that other people have come in and just taken the job and achieved something. I'm not even asking for much. I don't want to go and win the FA Cup because I don't think we can. I just want beat Leicester, get to the semi-final and see what's next. And more importantly, get a respectable finish in the league. We still have 12 games left. 12 games. That is 36 points. Get me 6 wins. 7 wins. That's all I'm asking for. That is 21 points. 21 points and then a couple draws and two defeats. And then it's like, you know what? We've had a good end to the season. I don't want the season to be written off. I just feel like Pochettino at this moment in time is a lame duck manager. And it's so frustrating. But it is what it is. Like, the silence from the club is deafening. Normally, you're getting bare tweets, bare briefs, everything. Not today. Absolutely not today. But it is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, let me know whether the prediction you made and my prediction after is just as good. See you later. Bye.